Hey guys, it's Lindsay with Mama Shmoo's Homeschool Reviews, and I wanted to get right into it for you guys and share with you how I am setting up and kind of putting together a very relaxed unit study, very literature based. Now, I wanted to let you guys know I started an animal unit study in the mid-May, very loosely. And it started with the story of Dr. Doolittle, and as I was planning my seasonal unit studies, I figured let's go ahead and start with animals because I'm already reading Dr. Doolittle, and there's so many animals that he is friends with in this book, and it was a great way to start off the unit. So if you guys have kids that could listen through this Dr. Doolittle book, it's just super cool. I love it a lot. Even my 3.5-year-old loved it. And so we read this book May through probably mid-June. And I'm not sure, mid-June or at the end of June. And we loved it. We took our time and we listened to it audio and we listened to this. And so what I did was I just set up a little animal unit study, kind of showing in here what I kind of wanted to go over. So for instance, I have my indescribable devotional right here, where it goes over the camel and the shrew and the hummingbird and the crocodiles, and I put the page numbers that I want to do on it. So, and I tab them on here. So for instance, if I wanted to go to the camel on page 114, I can just jump right to it when I'm starting in the morning with my kids, and it's kind of all set up. So let me show you guys. 114. I really am basing the unit studies off of this Bible. So this is about the camel, and it gives you some facts. And I have actually done a review and a flip through for this whole entire indescribable devotional. I love it. And so I will be planning on doing our solar system at the beginning, a solar system unit study at the beginning of our new school year, if you want to call it that, because we do school year round. And I will touch more base on astronomy later if you guys want to see that. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel if you want to see kind of how I'm doing it. So this is my main inspiration. And then I have the Dover animal book that I got from a thrift store that I'll show you guys, which is really cool. I have to kind of shift things around here. And so I just put down some of, actually this whole entire book 1 through 97 is all mammals. And so they're a bunch of sketches from the 19th century sources, and I got this for $1. I thought it was so beautiful. They just have tons of sketches of birds and owls and everything you can think of that we touched on when we were reading Dr. Doolittle. And so it was really great to have this available for my kids just to look at. So I would just leave this out on the coffee table, or we'll just look at it together. And so this was something that's really neat. And I like this because it has it's numbered. So if you want to learn about this camel, 238, it tells you the specific animal here. So if there's a lot of different birds, it tells you the specific birds on the bottom, and they're all black and white sketches. So that is what I have for that. And I just put pages 1 through 97, all the mammals. And then I have this DK Smithsonian book that I got on thriftstores.com, I think. Thriftbook.com. And I just jotted down all of the pages. I don't know if I'm going to do this in the future, but it was really helpful. I jotted down all the pages of all the animals that Dr. Doolittle kind of talked to throughout the book. And so I put little tabs on here. Oh, this is the tabs for what we're studying now. But I put tabs for the monkeys and for anything that we were learning in Dr. Doolittle. So 166 was, let me do the, here it's for you guys. So my kids and I looked through all these pictures in here, and we just talked about them. We looked at the colors and everything like that, and had this out for them. And it was a really fun time just to read through all that stuff. Now I just wrote down all of the picture books that I got from the library. So we got The Story of Ping, Make Way for Duckling, that's my ice maker, How to Make an Apple Pie Around the World. These are just some of the books that I read for the picture books. And my objective here and the book list, I think I want to continue reading, which is, we finished that. And then we have the Dolphin Adventures. We'll continue with the animal study. So I got the Burgess book. After I created the unit study, I got this. So we have not read a lot of stories in this book, but I'm going to try to like read a little bit before our animal unit study is over with, because I heard this is such a good book. Then we got all kinds of animals from Abeka that I love. It's a really good reader. And then the story tree has a lot of stories about animals as well. And then I got this that is from the National Geographic Kids Animal Stories. They're true tales from the animal kingdom, and we might read a few of these. We haven't read these yet, but I'll open it up so you can see kind of what it looks like. And then we are going to be doing, and I think my daughter has done a few of these, how to draw 101 animals. So if there's any animals that she wants to draw, I think this is on Amazon. I've seen it around, but this I've had a long time ago. And then some just cool little animal stickers for my son that's in preschool. And then animals in the wild, which go along with some of the animals that we've been learning about in Dr. Doolittle. I have a little Evan Moore book with some activities, and then some paper, like some really cool sheets from a teacher that gave me a bunch of books, or a bunch of like books and workbooks. I have a little like matching game for my kids to play, mostly for my 3-year-old that will soon be 4 next week. And then I have this little binder thing here that I got from Aldi's a while back. I think I'm going to use for my unit studies, and kind of like whatever worksheets or things I print off online or I want them to do, I'll put in there, and then it'll be like categorized by season with the unit studies, and I think it'll be helpful to keep things organized. Now, we've been reading the first Discovery Book of Animals, and this is just a great book. It has transparencies and it's really pretty. I love it. And then my son and I and my daughter in the morning, in our morning baskets, we talk about the animals, and we go online and we watch videos of them, and my kids love it. So this is a really, really good scholastic book. I recommend this for anyone. These are just some of the picture books that I read for my son in the morning along with my daughter. I like to read some picture books for him. And so when I go to the farm, I have See Me Grow, Scholastic Discover More. It's all about baby animals and stuff like that, and how they grow. Brave Little Fox. Let me bring this over. Brave Little Fox, Little Animal Adventures. It's talking about a badger and a brave little fox. And then Once a Mouse. And I need to read this. This is actually, I think, on 5 in a row list, and I wanted to read it, and I actually got it for free at a community center. They were giving away books. So here, those are just like the little piles of picture books that I like to incorporate and read with my son. And then we do a lot of the Llama Who Had No Pajamas, No Pajama, which has a lot of animal stories. And then also the Child's Garden Verse, whatever like poetry I can find in here that has to do with animals, I'll read that. And then, of course, the Book of Nature Poetry, which has lots and lots of poetry about animals across the land, on the move. So those are all the animals. After page 60, we read all of these little poetry pages and learn about a lot of animals here. And like I said, if you've seen some of my videos, we might not, if the poem is too much for them, we might not read it. We'll just look at the pictures, and it'll be like a good way to do art appreciation. So those are like the poetry books like we've been reading for the animal unit studies lately. This is the readers that my daughter's been reading for the animal unit study, the Sunflower Summer. And she's been reading The Little Bear Treasury. And then all of the books that I have over here from the library, as you can see, I have a lot of ocean books because we read Dolphin Adventure, and then we're going to read Dolphin Treasure. These books we read right after we got done with Dr. Doolittle, and I read this one. We're taking a break, and we're reading another book called Here's a Penny. So we kind of wanted to take a break from this. This one was a quick read. We read in 2 days, so we'll probably read this in a few days too. But this was a true story about him rescuing a baby dolphin. So this was really good. So I wanted to pull together some stuff with the animal unit study, but more of like the dolphins and the whales and ocean books. So what I did is I have like art and drawing books, and I tried to look through the Usborne like step-by-step drawing books, and I pulled out a few pages that I thought would be cool to draw with my daughter and my objectives. And then we have the same thing with this indescribable book. We have a lot of ocean themed devotionals. This one was an ocean themed devotional that we read. I went and went to the library and I got some readers for her. This is the Wildcrats. They love Wildcrats, and we did the sea creatures, whales and dolphins and sharks. So this one was a really cool one. I don't think she read this to me. Actually, I read this to her. This is a little too advanced. She read this one to me. I can read Pete the Cat, Scuba Cat, because in this book he's a scuba diver, and he talked a little bit on that. So I wanted to get more into the scuba diving, and this one was a really, really cute one for her to read. She really liked it. Then I got a book about dolphins, another book about just scuba diving so she could understand it. She just looked at that. This book is for my son. We had the Ocean Alphabet book, which was really, really cute. So if your kid is really into under the sea creatures and like Wildcrats, this is a fun way to do the alphabet with ocean theme. And then we got this Ocean DK Eyewitness, and I love the DK books because the pictures are just amazing. So we just flip through this and look at this stuff together. This is stuff like all in the ocean, and we like it a lot. So those are the library books. So I always try to do my best to get library books and have them for that specific month. Like I said, we had a lot of library books for when I was doing Dr. Doolittle. Now we're having library books that pertain to these books right here. And this is a book I got at the library, Whales and Dolphins. My friend Charlize from Sadbuster Living got me a bunch of magic school buses. So we have Goes Upstream about salmon migration, the ocean floor. In the beginning of, or the middle of August, after I do all of our ocean and animal studies, we are going to go to astronomy, which I'm excited about, and I'll tab all of the astronomy pages that are spaced right here, and we'll read these devotions along with, let me show you what astronomy. So this is like one of the devotions that we'll read. Now we read these devotions with our unit studies, like depending upon how many they have that pertain to the unit study, we'll read like at least 1 to 2 indescribable devotions during the week, and then make it a really hands-on experience where we might draw an animal. And let me show you guys real quick. I have the sketchbook that we just started using. My kids absolutely love it, and we have this pastel set from, I'll post it in the link below. It's ages 5+ called Faber-Castell, I guess. And so these are pretty good. They're not too expensive and they're not too cheap. I think they're pretty good, and my kids so far have enjoyed them. They broke some because they shut the actual plastic cover on them. So maybe if you have them for your kids, put them out on a paper towel, and then you can put them back to store here. And then I got these really good colored pencils that are better than their Crayola crayons. So it's like, this is our like little special book bin. This is what I was talking about as far as like Dr. Doolittle. She wanted to do a picture of him, so I just actually outlined it for her. Let me see. I actually just outlined it for her like the best I possibly could. I'm no artist. So I outlined it for her, and then she colored it in, and she blended it and did her own little fancy creative twist to it. And then this is Jib, which is the dog, and I asked them if they wanted to do another sketch. This is how he stood on the boat sniffing the wind, because they were talking about how dogs could smell anything. And then this is the little dog that I outlined for them, and then I outlined it with a pencil as best as I possibly could, and she used the pastels and she like blended it in, and that's her little interpretation of Jib the dog. And then my son also did one, I think, the same thing. I just outlined it for him and then they colored in. But they have really fun. Like, he did all of this stuff. They really enjoy the pastels. Oh, that's a Jeep. if you can. Oh yeah, Jib stood still, sniffing the wind. And so I outlined this one for him, a little bit different than the other one. And then he colored this in with his pastels, and he did his own little creative twist on that. And there you go, that's another. Since we're doing the dolphin adventure, and I think we did a dolphin. Oh yeah, there we go. I kind of like outlined it. She's not finished with this yet, but she's doing this dolphin. And she's mixing the black with the white, which I thought was pretty interesting to get the gray. So that is the little sketchbooks that I have, and I keep the pastels in the color here, and I keep it in my closet. So that is how I do my unit studies so far. Very literature based, a lot of DK books and books that you can just flip through and have on your coffee table and read with your kids and just dive right into whatever subject matter we're doing. Let me know if you guys like these videos. I will show you guys maybe how I do our astronomy study. I don't know if you want to do a video with me where I'm planning it and I'm not just talking over and I'm like planning it out. Let me know how you guys want me to show you that, and then I'll share with you guys like the collection of books that I get for astronomy from the library, and I'll piece it all together. If that's something that you're interested in, let me know, give me a thumbs up or comment, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.